Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board (Jamb) says it will not conduct admissions for the law program in some select universities following the suspension of the Bachelor of Laws program by the Council of Legal Education for the 2025-2026 education academic session at the universities. The Jamb spokesperson, Dr. Fabian Benjamin, who stated this in a statement on Wednesday, listed the affected universities to include Kwara State University, Malate, Kwara State, Bingham University, Karu Nasarawa State, and Redeemers University, Ede, Osun State. Others are Western Delta University, Ogara, Delta State, Taraba State University, Jalingo, Taraba State, Otho Jarvis University, Abuyo, Cross River State, Alex Ekweme Federal University, Ndufo, Alike, Ebonyi State, and Nigerian Police Academy, Wudil, Kano State. As a result, Jamb will not approve any admissions for candidates seeking to enroll in the law program at the aforementioned universities for the 2025-2026 academic session. Furthermore, the ban on registration for the law program at the Nigerian Police Academy will extend into the 2026-2027 academic session, he added. As a practicing barrister, I would love to get your thoughts. Considering the fact that I was glad when I saw the story, I'm like, I have to discuss it because you were going to be on air with us to, talk about today's stories. I'd love to get your thoughts. One of the reasons that they gave why they suspended the admission to study law, why Jamb suspended, was because they said they did not follow regulatory procedures, which I really don't understand. That the legal part, they did not follow regulatory procedures. It's actually baffling for some Jamb candidates that have decided to enroll into the law faculty, right? What would be their fate as it stands, right? I just want to get your thoughts concerning this, please.
No, I don't think there's any problem. I think the Jamb, the NUC, and the Council of Legal Education deserve commendation in this regard, because they are taking a proactive step to stop that thing you are saying. So, it's the training of lawyers in Nigeria, begins from the university, where you study to get the degree they call LL.B. And once you have graduated, you now go to the law school. There are also others who may have studied law abroad, and come to Nigeria. There are also procedures for you to go through. And the people who are responsible for this, who regulate this training, is the Council of Legal Education. And the law school, they do that through the Nigerian Law School. The Council of Legal Education, they run the Nigerian Law School. Mm-hmm. So they set the parameter and the requirements for all of this, they even give the quotas. Mm-hmm. They know, and for them to do that, they come to the faculties of law of these universities and this establishment to find out the suitability and their capacity to train would-be law graduates who will now become applicants to study at Nigerian Law School. Mm-hmm. So being the people who train products from these universities, they know, or they're supposed to know the capacity of which university to produce lawyers. That's why every university in Nigeria has its own quota of law students it can admit. Okay. So that to avoid producing graduates that do not have qualities to even go to law school, and then end up producing people that the Nigerian legal system will not be proud of to call a lawyer or one of their members. Okay, so each university has a quota of students you can take from the Council of Legal Education that regulates every faculty of law in Nigeria has a number of candidates or students you can admit. And at the end at the end of their final conclusion of their program, you also have a quota, a number of persons you are going to send to the law school. As every school has. Now, it is important that these regulations are complied with strictly. One of the consequences of flouting this regulation from the Council of Legal Education is this kind of
decision that Jamb said.
Yes, where you will be forbidden or banned from admit for a particular period, because if you have 50, if your quota is 50, you can only admit 50, and you go to admit 200, and you have 200 in your class currently now, they will stop you from admitting again, so that these 200 that you admit, they cannot be taking them on merit basis. The highest at the end of your final years, the highest 50 persons with the highest grade will go to law school. They will wait again in, let's say, the highest 50, because you cannot send more than 50% from that school. So you now see some universities, I will not mention names. Yeah, you see people after you have graduated in the school, you have to wait for 4 or 5 years for your batch to go to, because your school has graduated over the quota given to them by the Council of Legal Education. So each year they can only send that number 50. If you are 40, your own is 40, it's 40. But you have a backlog over 200 that you have trained. You claim you have trained, and they will just be there. And when you have studied a course from year 1 to year 5, because law is a 5-year program, to year 5, and then you are unable to go to law school, you have to now sit at home for 1 year, 2 years, 3, all those things that you have learned, you start coming out. By the time you be admitted in law school, you become a problem to the system. You are not, because most of the things that you learn are foundational to what you study in law school have all disappear from your brain, and then you start becoming a problem to them. They are training you as a lawyer. So I think it may not necessarily be that the school may not be up to standard, but I think the problem may be that the school, because they didn't say they cancelled the accreditation, they stopped them. And I think the possible thing that must have happened, that must have led to this, is what I'm trying to explain. That it may be that they must have admitted so much a number that if they allow them to admit more people, you have people who they will be admitting who will be writing the Jamb. At the end of their 5th year, after they have been admitted, they will stay another 4 or 5 years as law graduate before going to law school. So to prevent Nigerians, innocent Nigerians, from going to that trap, let them not even write Jamb at all. Let them go to another school that don't have those problems. You should go to another school that does not have the problem and apply. And I think so that is a very proactive measure aimed at securing the future of our young ones who intend to study law.